and welcome back to Football Made Simple.
An old rivalry took centre stage when Arteta's Arsenal visited Carrick's United. Both sides are still in a decent position to make the top 4, so 3 points either way could have been crucial. In the end, the game finished 3-2 to United thanks to goals by Ronaldo and Fernandes, while Smith Rowe and Odegaard scored for the Gunners. The XG was fairly close, with both teams being clinical, but United got a deserved win in the end. The XG time app shows that United came on strong in the second half. But what tactics did each manager use? Let's take a look. A quick reminder of the formations employed by both managers, with Arsenal in a 4-4-1-1 and United in a 4-2-3-1, as you can see on the OneFootball app. Guys, OneFootball is sponsoring today's video yet again, and I have genuinely been using the app for years, and it is comfortably the best free football app you can get. And you can get it for free right now through the link in the description below. You'll get formations like this, stats, news, and more customized for your favorite teams and players. But let's begin with United in possession. United for the most part looked to play out short. However, Arsenal were looking to press high, with Odegaard forming a 4-4-2 alongside Aubameyang, and the entire team being ready to press. However, this Arsenal press was not the best at times, especially when Elneny and Partey remained deeper. Once the ball became active, the Arsenal forwards looked to press, often pressing the centre-backs rather than strategically cutting off the middleman, so De Gea as the central man could often receive and find the pivot, allowing United to play out. Even from open play, the Arsenal press could be susceptible. Again, Odegaard was aggressive in being the second forward, pressing the centre-backs, so it was basically a 4-4-2. Meaning that Partey and Elneny were often 3 versus 2 down in the midfield. And more often than not, they looked to back up the press on the United pivots to prevent progression. But United did tend to build down the left-hand side. So in these scenarios, if Fernandes was in the attacking midfield role, he looked to pick up space between the lines, offset to the United right to try and potentially receive and run at the back 4. But generally, United's centre-backs were not able to break multiple lines of pressure to get the ball into him. In addition, Smith Rowe was fairly tactically aware in these scenarios, often tucking in and deeper to look after Fernandes. But United identified Arsenal's right-hand side and potentially Tomiyasu as an area to exploit from both deep and high up the pitch. The 3 behind Ronaldo had plenty of fluidity, with Fernandes willing to move to the right to allow Rashford and Sancho to operate closer when needed. But from deep, when Tejas received, we would often see Sancho drop deep facing the ball and Tomiyasu would be drawn into following his man touch tight, and naturally this left a gaping hole in the defence. And this space was often attacked by Tejas with a third man run. Or Ronaldo could pull out to the left. This even drew Ben White out at times. And higher up, United continually looked dangerous in similar ways. This could be in direct ways, with Sancho receiving and looking to turn and take his man on in 1 versus 1 situations, although Tomiyasu was often able to prevent this. So United looked to overload Tomiyasu instead, with different personnel, as when Fernandes was more off the right, we saw Rashford and Sancho often in close proximity down the left to create a potential 3 versus 2. This was also achieved by Ronaldo, drifting out to the left-hand side. But dynamically attacking this space brought the most success. As discussed, this could be through Tejas' overlapping runs when he got away from Smith Rowe, which led to many dangerous situations. But United even shifted their shape to take advantage of this with Fred, as McTominay remained as the deepest pivot. This meant if Arsenal defended strongly in a 2 versus 2 down the right, Fred could get into good positions using his dynamism. This leads to the penalty. But we also see these trends in other situations. For the first goal, Arsenal are in a decent position to deal with the wide threat, but Fred from his freer position spots the opportunity to make the run, and he is in the perfect position to cut the ball back to Fernandes, who had drifted right. Now, let's look at Arsenal. When building from the goal kick, they dropped their centre-backs deep, and United were also high pressing. Rashford came in from the right wing, so he and Ronaldo were ready to press the centre-backs. This left Tavares with too much space, so Diego Dalot tended to push up into this halfway position to try and cover Tavares, but also not leave too much space out wide. But with Fernandes having two men to deal with in the pivot position, at times Arsenal were able to play out. But soon, United adapted, with Sancho in particular often starting partially tucked in, so he was ready to press a pivot or the fullback. However, there were times Ramsdale was able to take advantage of this and still find the fullback. But Arsenal's shape high up was intriguing, as it allowed them to try and take advantage of all their players' best strengths. Both fullbacks were given extreme attacking license, almost exclusively providing the width. This was aided by Partey and Elneny, who both looked to sit deep, meaning they could cover the wide areas on the transition easily. The high wingers allowed Martinelli and Smith Rowe into their preferred position, as time and again we saw Smith Rowe move into a free 8 position alongside Odegaard, whilst Martinelli looked to become a second forward alongside Aubameyang, so the technical midfielders could look to combine in these central zones. But we saw the central shape force United to contract, so Tavares in particular often received in space and looked to cross. Overall, this match had plenty of interesting tactical trends, and United just about deserved the win. Sunday will give us a better indicator of how much influence Ranić had on the style of play today, but drop what you made of the match down in the comments below. And for the tactical score, Arteta gets a 6, with a lot of interesting attacking patterns, but not dealing with the problem behind Tomiyasu worked against him, whilst Carrick earns a 7. And if you enjoyed this video, you may also enjoy the FMS Patreon. On Patreon, you'll get early access to videos, exclusive videos, as well as the ability to vote on various polls and so much more. It's a great way to support the channel, and it is now cheaper than ever. All you have to do is head over to patreon.com/footballmadesimple, or press the card in the top right or the end card at the end of this video. And a special thanks to my patrons including Haloma, Efren Perez Pliego, and Whale.
But that's all for today, and remember, keep it simple.